Sister Agatha, my dear, tell me you have good news.
The king has arrived in Kalima, father.
That is not what I meant.
Yes. Well, he appears to be quite resourceful. It seems his reputation was not totally exaggerated.
He's still alive?
For now, but that will change soon, I think. The king has discovered that one of the gems he seeks is in the possession of a colleague of ours. Do you remember? Kaldor.
Yes. Is he still trustworthy?
Totally. Still sharp, and there's no questioning his loyalty. My humblest apologies, father, but would it not have been simpler for you to have dealt with Graham personally?
Fool! Imagine the ensuing chaos where Daventry's king murdered in his own land. How then would I be able to search for the item?
I see.
Failure is not an option.
Understood, father.
Keep me informed, preferably of good King Graham's death.
With a flourish, you fling the black cloak around your neck and fasten it. The ring is gold with an enormous red ruby. The word beloved is engraved inside the gold band. The black cloak would fit a taller man than you. You are now wearing the beautiful ruby ring. The gnarled trees form a kind of natural entrance to the darker swamp beyond. The gnarled trees. The sandy path from the beach ends here. Judging by what lies to the east, you are not surprised. A tree lies half submerged, having long ago succumbed to the poisonous waters of the swamp. The dark water looks foul, and it reeks of something even fouler. You strongly suspect that it may be tainted by poison. Large You read the Bible page again. Spiders earnest with spindly eight spin webs with negligible weight. From here, you cannot make out much detail. However, it is unquestionably a castle. The castle looks cold and forbidding. Several sinister towers rise from it, like jagged rocks. Beyond that, it is difficult to see any details from here. You wonder if this place is still home to anyone, or anything. The dark water looks foul, and it reeks. Various plants grow here. That nature would otherwise forbid them life in such an environment is demonstrative of a strong magical energy which permeates this swamp. The shrouded ghoul looks very frightening. His hands are little more than claws, and his face is nearly completely hidden inside the hood of the shroud. He is standing in a small boat. The small wooden rowboat looks rotted from exposure to the poisoned lake.
Boatman, I need passage. I said...
I heard.
The ghoul's voice chills you to the bone. It speaks with a deep, resonating bitterness. You cannot make out a great deal of its face, but what you can see has the hairs on the back of your neck standing on end.
In life, I would row this boat for the master. Long ago was my untimely death in these waters, but still I remember many things. Laughter, tears, joy, pain.
May I cross, Sir Boatman?
You have come to raid the master's house. This I know, but care not about. You should be warned, though. The master is not what he once was. Never has this land known a kinder, more compassionate, and nobler ruler than he. But his fate has long since been decided. Down a dark path he now treads, and he feels naught for anyone nor anything save for one other, and even that is a rare trait for a Nosferatu.
You freeze. Neither the Door of Destiny nor Neptune mention this count as being undead.
If I may ask, Sir Boatman, how did this swamp come to be here? Is it natural?
No, the ground you stand upon was once farming land and dwellings for the peasantry.
How did it come to be like this?
A score of years passed after the master died, and a great morass opened up, covering the surrounding land with slime and poisoned water. Once rich and fertile, now it is no longer.
The Count has caused this?
It is believed so, for why else would his own castle be spared?
Ah, thank you, Sir Boatman.
The boatman has nothing more to say. The boatman accepts your payment and motions for you to climb into the boat. The shrouded ghoul paddles across the toxic lake to the shore on the other side. This area is cold and ominous. Up ahead, dark towers rise from a sinister castle. The path leading up to the entrance is lined with deadly thorns and thick brambles. Gnarled, twisted trees seem to reach out to anyone foolish enough to walk too close. Then again, maybe it's just your imagination. The shrouded ghoul looks very frightening. His hands are little more than claws, and his face is nearly completely hidden inside the hood of the shroud. He is waiting to ferry you back to the other side of the poisonous lake. Thick mist hangs around the shore of the island as if forming a border beyond, into which only the foolish would venture. This area is cold and This area Ouch! You feel the sharp brambles graze your skin. Your vision blurs and you begin to feel lightheaded. You feel a heavy coldness run through your entire body. Soon you are unable to stand. Finally, even your eyes become too heavy to keep open, and they close for the last time. After swallowing the magic sugar cube, you get a feeling of invincibility. The sharp thorns brush against your skin. However, instead of feeling intense pain, you only experience a slight tingling sensation. Evidently, the magic sugar cube did its job. The main entrance to the castle is a set of heavy wooden doors. It looks to be fairly solid. It also looks to be entirely unwelcoming. The ghosts waver, as if being threatened by even the slightest breeze, yet something holds them in place. It may be nothing more than an intensely strong determination or sense of purpose that keeps the spirits anchored to this world. The castle's main entrance is as foreboding as the rest of this island. Everywhere you look, you feel the overpowering urge to turn around and leave this place. You can't. The black cloak is a fine garment. You remove the black cloak again. The ghosts descend on you, sucking the life force right out of your body. Maybe you're taking the can't beat 'em, join 'em philosophy a bit too literally. As you approach the ghosts wearing the black cloak, they seem to notice you, and then begin to drift away towards the cemetery. The main entrance to the castle is a set of heavy wooden doors. It looks to be fairly solid. It also looks to be entirely unwelcoming. It is a shiny silver cross dangling from a silver chain. It is a shiny silver cross dangling from a silver chain. The main entrance to the castle is a set. Nothing. Having an idea, you push the crucifix into the cross-shaped keyhole. It fits. You hear a click, and the door unlocks. You push the heavy wooden door open, take a deep breath, and step nervously inside the castle entrance. The moment you enter the great hall of the castle, you begin shivering uncontrollably, and not just from the cold. This place has an air of death wherever you go. As if creeping around this huge castle was not enough, knowing full well that an undead creature resides here would unnerve even the most stout-hearted of adventurers, you feel desperate to get what you came for and anxious to leave as quickly as possible. The portraits on the wall depict the couple who once lived here. They look young and proud. Behind the mask of apathy that comes with aristocracy, there's a certain kindness in their eyes. You admire the twin chandeliers. You decide that you simply must have replicas made for your own throne room someday. A grand staircase runs up the left side of the great hall. As you peer down the hallway, you see numerous doors on either side, all locked most likely. At the far end, the corridor appears to open into another room. A chandelier graces the ceiling and adds a small degree of light and warmth to this dingy, drafty room. It is a long dining table completely covered with dust. Scratches scar the legs of the table. A foul stench wafts up from the gloomy darkness into which the stairs descend. The staircase beyond is very dark. It would be much too dangerous to proceed down without a light of some kind. A torch has been mounted to the wall here. It does little to cheer up the place, even when lit. An old shovel rests against the stone wall. It looks well used. You take the shovel into your possession. You hold your candle up to the blazing torch. It catches. Your candle is now lit. Now that you have a lit candle, it's a bit easier to see where you're going. A raised stone dais has been built for the sole purpose of keeping the coffin off the ground. Presumably, this makes it easier for the coffin's occupant to climb in and out. The thought gives you the shivers. The thick black cloak that you are wearing hampers your efforts to lift the coffin lid. Try removing the cloak first. You remove the black cloak again. Nervously, you lift the heavy lid of the elegant coffin. You peek into its red satin interior. The coffin is unoccupied. and you feel relief wash over you. As you prepare to look inside the coffin,
King Graham, I presume.
you turn on your heel. There, blocking the only exit from this dismal room, stands the Count. His skin is pale, his eyes jet black. He wears a black cloak nearly identical to the one that you possess.
You know me?
Ah, yes indeed. Sister Hagatha alerted me to your arrival, dear king.
The Count is tall and elegantly dressed with a black cloak around him. His face and hands are chalk white, and his lips are blood red. Desperate to stall for time, you query the Count.
Sister Hagatha, you say? Who is she?
The Count regards you with a suspicious glare.
Though I suspect you already know the answer, Hagatha is a charming mage who does as she pleases in this land.
Strange. I was not aware a new ruler had been elected.
Do not be foolish. Hagatha has no interest in the politics of this wretched place, nor do I, in point of fact. Death tends to diminish one's taste for power. No, at present, she is interested only in one thing, as am I, your destruction.
In an instant, you are flat against the wall. The Count has you pinned so well you can't move a muscle, much less put up a defense. You can feel the Count's iron-cold hand on your throat. You have barely seconds before the inevitable happens. The Count no longer appears interested in humoring your delay tactics. The Count. There is no way you would be able. You feel two sharp pricks in the side of your neck. Soon after, your mind succumbs to unconsciousness as your precious lifeblood seeps away. Down for the Count. With difficulty, you manage to loosen the ruby ring from your finger and drop it to the floor. The Count's eyes dart to it quickly, then flash angrily back to you.
Where did you get that?
The elderly woman who lives in a house to the south of here, near the beach. She gave it to me for helping her.
The Count regards you for a moment. His dark eyes bore unendingly into yours, and you feel as if your very soul is bare.
What do you know of her?
She is not well.
I know. Do you think I am not aware of that?
You are sweating profusely. Hopefully this vampire doesn't find the odor appetizing.
Night is the most dangerous of times for my mortal family. I have kept constant vigil over my wife for many years, so that from the darkness no harm would come to her. When her time comes, we will be together forever.
I think tonight will be the night. I have seen her this very eve. I did what I could to help her, but I do not think it was enough.
As you watch the giant bat fly out of the room, you realize with dread that the Count has confiscated your crucifix. Without it, you are trapped in this castle. Now what are you going to do?